If you're currently in the market looking for a budget-friendly way to make a hexagon jig, this is the video for you. Because in today's video, I'm going to show you how to make an adjustable hexagon jig that you can use to make any size hexagon for your project. The materials that you're going to need for this build are really quite simple. All you really need is a piece of plywood, one 1x4, a 1/4 bolt, a wing nut, a washer, and a piece of hardwood that's currently not featured in this pile. And really, all these materials for today's build are just scraps from around my shop. And this is just another reason why I believe scrap wood is gold. So now that you know all the materials that you'll need for this jig, let's go to the first step of this build. To begin this build, we're going to start by cutting out the base from our scrap piece of plywood. If you are planning on making this jig, something to keep in mind is that all table saws are a little bit different. For example, my hexagon jig clips right onto the sliding arm of my table saw. But if you're working with a table saw that doesn't have a sliding arm, then your jig is going to follow the miter slot on your table saw, which is exactly what we're going to build today. I recommend making the size of your hexagon jig based off the hexagon sizes that you would like to make. If you want to make some really big hexagons, make a pretty big jig. If you want to make smaller ones, then just make a smaller jig. At the end of the day, it's really up to you and the project that you plan to use it for. After your base has been cut to size, we're going to move on to cutting our miter slot runner from our piece of scrap hardwood. You can always buy a miter slot runner online. They make plastic versions, metal versions, adjustable versions. There's any kind of version that you can think of available online. All of these versions, however, will increase the budget of this jig. But a piece of scrap wood, you already paid for that, so it's basically free. Now it fits in here, and then we'll put the board on here, and then we have our track that's going to keep it straight all the time. When cutting your miter slot runner, you want to make it a little bit shallower than the depth of your miter slot, and you want to make it a little bit skinnier, because that's going to ensure a smooth operation when using this jig. With the miter slot cut to size, we're going to move to attaching it to the base of your jig. In order to attach this rail, we're going to use some glue and nails. We're only going to attach it with 2 nails at this time, and you're going to see why in just a moment. The reason we only attach this rail with 2 nails is so that we can ensure that it's going to be perfectly straight. Just going to get rid of as much of this glue as we can. Once the rail has been attached with 2 nails, we're going to use a straight edge to ensure that it's perfectly straight before finally securing with a few more finish nails. So now you can see there's no gap anymore. So now we have the track, and it should just sit right in there. With the rail being fully secured, we're going to move on to making one clean square cut on the edge of the jig. This will be the edge that rides along the saw blade when using this jig. This edge is perfectly square with the table saw blade now. With one edge of the jig squared up, we're going to move on to a very crucial step to this build. We need our angle right here at 120 degrees, which is to attach the fence at a specific angle that will allow you to make your hexagons. I suggest taking a little bit extra time to make sure this angle is correct, because if it's off just a little bit, you're going to come up with a lot of shapes that just aren't hexagons. And that pretty much defeats the purpose of a hexagon jig. The angle of this piece needs to be 120 degrees from the table saw blade. This piece needs to be set at that specific angle because the interior angles of a hexagon are 120 degrees. With our fence fully secured, we're going to move on to using our trim router to create the adjustability for this jig. To do that, we're just going to use the fence as our guide, and we're going to use a 1/4 inch upcut bit. Using a 1/4 inch bit should allow for a 1/4 bolt to slide freely, which will allow for that adjustability of this jig. So now, let's see, does that fit? Now we have this that slides. Now that the 1/4 bolt slides freely, we need to add a bigger groove on the bottom so that the head of the bolt sits flush with the bottom of the jig. And to make this groove, we're going to change our 1/4 inch bit to a 3/4 inch straight bit. With our router bit changed, we're going to attach a temporary fence that's going to center this bit over our initial cut. After removing the temporary fence, we're going to head back to the table saw to make a 120 degree cut, and that will be the adjustable part to this jig. We need our screw to be somewhere back here. We're just going to shorten it a little. After making our initial cut, we're going to remove our excess material before drilling the hole for our 1/4 bolt. So you can make a really little hexagon, or you can make a really big hexagon. To ensure the hole is in the correct position for your 1/4 bolt, flip the jig over and drill a hole directly through the router slot into your adjustable fence. Once the hole has been drilled, flip the jig over and attach the adjustable fence using your 1/4 bolt, washer, and wing nut. So before we show you how this jig actually works, I want to give a quick shout out to all the individuals who commented on a previous video where I made some honeycomb shelves for a client of mine. It was cool to see the level of interest that you all wanted to see this jig come to life. So if you do end up making this jig for a project of yours, make sure to tag me on Instagram so I can see what creative ideas that you come up with. So thank you all for your comments, and let's get back to this build and make sure this jig actually works. In order to show the versatility of this jig, we're going to cut out 3 different size hexagons: a small hexagon, a medium hexagon, and a big hexagon. Now that I've made another hexagon jig, the wheels are turning, wondering what other creations I can come up using the hexagon shape. If you have any suggestions, let me know. But in the meantime, check out this video linked on screen here where I use a hexagon jig to make some honeycomb shelves. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.